Welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boy Mo. And today I'm reviewing Quantum Leap Season 2, Episode 3. It's entitled Closure Encounters, and it's coming to you from NBC streaming on Peacock. So, what did I think about it, and should you be watching? And before we get into the review, get down there, hit like on this video. Well, Ben leaps this time into an agent of I guess a UFO or a strange encounter, strange sightings organization, and it's on him to sort of find out if a couple of teenage girls, if they really did come across or encounter aliens, and at stake is the life of a one of the young ladies, and whether or not one of the other the other young lady goes to prison for manslaughter. Sort of complicating this is the fact that the town where he's investigating is sort of run by this rich old dude whose daughter is the one that's in a coma, and the sheriff of the town whose granddaughter is the other young lady who could potentially go to prison. And so he's got to figure out what's really going on and keep all of that unfortunate stuff from happening. In the meantime, can he work with Addison? His revelation at the end of the last episode that she's with another person, they buried him, and to him it's only been moments have only passed, but for them it's been years, and feelings and everything have changed, but how is he going to deal with all of that? And they're worried that his inability to sort of process his grief and process the whole deal maybe is making him reckless and causing him to do some not so smart things. And as they sort of unravel what's going on with with this UFO sighting, it becomes clear that things aren't as they seem. So let's call this the X-Files episode, very much so. But also, it takes place in the 40s, the late 40s, post World War II. So there's definitely a bit of, I don't want to call it culture shock, but definitely a different culture at play. And they're in a small town. I do like the fact that for a guest star this episode, they have an actor named Louis Hertham, who, if you watched the show Peripheral on Amazon Prime Video, he was the main bad guy there. In this one, he's a good old he's a sheriff that's sort of in the way of a Clint Eastwood or something like that, but a lot funnier and everything like that. And seeing him and Ben sort of figure out their partnership as they try to get his granddaughter out of trouble was all very interesting. I will say that as far as the whole plot that of the leap goes, I wasn't terribly surprised by it. There's an attempt by the set design and the direction and everything to make you think that maybe this is a real alien abduction, but like even sort of looking slightly closer at it than maybe they want you to, you can tell like, oh, this isn't real, these aren't real people. These aren't real aliens, but the people are doing it, are making it sort of seem like that. And they, like, at one point you see the quote aliens with three eyes that are glowing green, and I was like, those are just night vision goggles. What is this? And so they do a good job of sort of making it dark, and it's kind of glowing lights, and it's sort of spooky and all that other stuff, but at no point did I ever think like, oh, it might actually be aliens. So in that way, it's not really like X-Files, because X-Files tries to make you say like, who knows, it could have been something supernatural or aliens or whatever. But in this one, it was very clear there was some government shenanigans going on, which made the leap basically be more about Ben sort of uncovering who the sheriff is and who his granddaughter is, and who this Hunt, the guy that sort of owns the town, if you will, what he's about, and sort of confronting him and confronting his goons who are trying to make sure that the young lady, the sheriff's granddaughter, gets sent down there, and also sent down to prison. And also the kind of the other part about this leap that's important is the friction between Ben and Addison. We hadn't seen that before in the show. They were pretty much a well-oiled team in the first season, but this kind of barrier between them actually, has Ben be short and, kind of confront her. At one point, he's just like, "Well, I hear what you're saying, and I get why you might think that, but you're wrong, and I'm going to do my thing." And Addison sort of, when she comes out and talks to Magic, she's just like, "I can't. I know he's being reckless, but I can't stop him. I'm a hologram." And Magic's really just like, "Well, you need to try harder because we don't want to lose him." I will also note something else of interest, which is that in the previous episode, basically, Project Quantum Leap was shuttered, had been shuttered for about a year. But it's interesting within who knows how many weeks it's been. I guess that's the time, change that we don't understand. For Ben, it's immediate. Who knows how many weeks it's been, but they got Project Quantum Leap back up and running. It looks like it never, ever was closed. It's as if they always planned in this show for Project Quantum Leap to be back up and running, despite the way it looked at the beginning in the previous episode. Also, we get a little more outside stuff like Ian's really, really hoping that, they find out aliens or something like that. They're really geeked up about Ben doing that. And, of course, you got Jen. She's, appropriately, sarcastic or funny or what have you. Not enough of her in this episode, but I'm sure they're going to rectify that later on in the season. Because this is mostly about not Jenna, but it's mostly about Addison and Ben sort of figuring out how to work together. Especially, they had an awkward long car ride to the place where the leap's, its whole mission was, and I'm sure that was not fun. And pretty much, we see, Ben, sort of talking about her to somebody else while she's there, talking about losing her, and it's nobody. He recognizes it's nobody's fault, but he's still angry about it and doesn't know what to do with it because he can't direct it at anybody. And as they sort of go through the whole investigation and the plan to get the real dirt about what the aliens are, at one point he has to confront her and be like, "Hey, don't give up on me again, because I can't do this without you being my hologram." And so it's a really tough thing. I'll give Caitlin Bassett a lot of credit for having to be not only embarrassed and sort of uncomfortable, but also to have to bear the brunt of that whole diatribe, and then still get back in there and have Addison do what she was supposed to. She still has feelings for him, obviously, but also she has this new guy. And also the whole abandoning me thing, that kind of hits hard. So I get how her hesitance and just I guess how her feelings are a bit hurt about what Ben says. I understand that. And it's going to make the rest of their sort of getting their relationship together more interesting as the season unfolds. Overall, I thought it was a really good episode. Again, the actual mystery, a government, black site, that, all that's cool. I also did like the part where he, kind of befriends this waitress who turns out to be a lot smarter and more interesting. The way he directs her towards, I think it's MIT or Harvard, one of the two, where she can be one of the first female physics students. And I feel like the way that they talked about saying "see you later" instead of saying goodbye, I somehow feel that means that we're going to see her again later on in the season. We're just not sure how. I'm going to assume she's going to be older and the leap is going to take him into her proximity, which I think is interesting. Not that they're going to have a relationship, but that she may be important to the rest of the season. As we try to figure out what's the whole point of this season, we know what the point of the first season was. What are they aiming at for all these leaps in this second season? Can they figure out how to bring Ben back? We will, I'm sure, find out. And So, like I said, overall, really, really good episode. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and really looking forward to, what's Ben gonna do about this with the stinger, and apparently he's got to be a hitman. We're gonna find out in the next episode. So, either way, what did you guys think about this episode? What did you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there, and of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, do us a favor and hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel and helps more people to see videos just like this. All right, thanks for joining me. Come back next week. We're going to talk about episode 4 of Quantum Leap Season 2. Until then, I've been Mo, your commenter extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.